Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking nerd, John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. So, welcome to 2018. This is the first Nerd Jive of 2018, so expect these more frequently. I know I took some time off during the holidays, but I'd rather be with my family than speaking into a camera into the void. So, I felt like it was probably appropriate. But either way, we're back. 2018 is going to bring a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of changes. As you can see, I cleaned up the office. The camera did some weird things with that. Anywho, so yeah, either way, let's get started. First up in the news today is that classic we always love, SpaceX news. Specifically the Falcon Heavy flyby video. So this morning, SpaceX posted a flyby video on their Instagram of the Falcon 9 Heavy standing up on launch pad 39A in the space complex in Florida. So it was like a nice drone flyby. Oh, just beautiful video. Which is super awesome. Like we're getting so close, man. We're getting so close. But before they can schedule the launch, because the launch is not currently scheduled yet, they have to do a simultaneous static test fire of all 27 Merlin 1D engines. And if that's successful, then they'll be able to schedule the first launch of the Falcon 9 Heavy, which is going to be carrying Elon Musk's personal little red Corvette, for a lack of better words. But also, side note, gin and grapefruit juice change your fucking life. Put a little salt on the rim, bam, salty dog. It's where it's at. Thank you, Roger. But, alright, so in the post they state, with more than 5 million pounds of thrust at liftoff, equal to approximately 18 747 aircrafts at full power, Falcon Heavy will be the most powerful operational rocket in the world by a factor of 2, which is awesome. And even though Musk himself has said that it's pretty likely that the first launch will blow up before it ever gets into space, I kind of think that we can all hope that it works out and we can take yet another step forward towards becoming a multi-planet species, thank you Elon Musk, as well as the future of space travel in general. This micro space race between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, Blue Origins and SpaceX, whatever the hell NASA's currently endeavoring to do, those kind of things. So either way, it's all good news. I have an Engadget article linked below, as well as SpaceX's Instagram. So, follow those motherfuckers on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram also. But follow those motherfuckers on Instagram. They always put out some good stuff. So, yeah. Falcon 9 Heavy news. Next up is Bright news. Alright, so, on December 22nd, Netflix released its fantasy action cop drama, Bright, to almost universal hate. Even now, it has a 28% on Rotten Tomato from critics. And it's been surrounded by a lot of media coverage of how genuinely awful this movie is, right? And how Netflix wasted money making it. Now, all this being said, Netflix has announced that not only did they receive 11 million views in its opening weekend, which is the first 3 days that it was on air, alright, this places it technically lower than Stranger Things Season 2, but it is currently the highest viewed original film on Netflix. Alright? All of this touting of success in the face of critical panning has come alongside the announcement that they'll be making a sequel to Bright, which is actually pretty good news. Okay, so quickie review about Bright. No spoilers, just my opinion. All those critics are wrong. Fuck those guys in the face. Bright's actually really good. I don't understand. Wife and I watched it, and neither of us understand why people hate this fucking movie so much. My boys at work, right, my coworkers, all of them enjoy the movie. Where's all this hate coming from? Did they watch a different movie than me? Did I watch a different movie? Is it maybe my rampant drinking? What? Where? How? Why? Why do people hate this movie? I understand that people are like, oh, well, people over here are like, well, but it's it just throws the whole racial thing in your face because they're using orcs and humans and elves to denote blacks and whites and things like that, right? But then on the other side of the fence, people are just like, it's a bad movie with bad acting and the CGI shit, blah, 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 which is like there's very little CGI and it's primarily practical effects, which makes it really, really good. But, yeah, people just hate this movie, man. I don't get it. I thought it was great. I thought it was an all-around enjoyable film and with an interesting plot and very interesting universe that I want to know more about. Amazing practical effects and a solid acting base. Taron Egerton as the orc did a fantastic job. Will Smith as that grizzled, no-nonsense, I don't fucking care about you cop did a fantastic job. The human actor and the elf actor who played the FBI agents really sold this, like, are they bad, are they not thing. I mean, it was good, you know? I think it was a solid movie. I don't understand why people fucking hate it, you know? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't get it, man. I thought it was pretty good. But, you know what? In all of this critical panning and the 28% on Rotten Tomato and all that kind of stuff, good job, Netflix. Yeah, fucking ignore the haters. They exist. They're gonna exist. That's just the way it is. And in all reality, I think the critics don't like it because it's exactly what you expected. You know, it's another movie that reminds me of action movie. It reminds me of a cop drama from the 90s, right? And that's not bad. You don't, every movie that made doesn't need to like change the genre. Just make a movie, man. So, I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Fucking whatever. Thumbs up to a bright sequel. I'm excited. As long as they bring back Will Smith and Taron Egerton. They did a great job. I think they did a great job. And the orcs having practical effect makeup and tusks and stuff, just, they looked real. The whole thing felt real. And they never apologized and they never explained shit. It was just like, this is what's happening. We're going with it. Fuck you guys. I thought it was awesome. So, whatever. Yeah. And so the last piece of news I wanted to cover today, and probably the most divergent piece of news from what I would normally cover, is Logan Paul news. Motherfucking Logan Paul news. I don't care about celebrities or YouTube famous people. I don't want to have to read this news or think about this news or talk about this news, but it affects everyone on this site. It affects everybody on YouTube. It affects everybody who publishes videos on the internet. And I think that it's something that we need to talk about now before it gets worse. A lot worse. So, we're going to talk about GD motherfucking Logan Paul. God damn it. Okay. Here's the TLDR of what didn't happen. If you don't know what happened with Logan Paul, still, we should probably talk about that. But TLDR, Logan Paul's situation. Logan and his crew went to Okigahara Forest, which is at the edge. It's like the base of Mount Fuji, to film some shit, right? It looks like they wanted to film like a haunted forest, fucking whatever, right? They found a dead body. They filmed this dead body. They filmed their reactions to this dead body. They posted this video on YouTube. In this video, they're laughing and making the jokes and doing all that kind of stuff. In the footage, he apologizes in the video, excuse me, he comments on it in the video. He posts this. Afterwards, he apologizes for the whole thing when the backlash happens, even though it had a lot of fan support, like from his fan base. And now people are obviously furious because that shit's evil. So, TLDR, Forest, dead body, still chose to post it on YouTube, which is quite a fascinating decision to be made. Tried to apologize for it. People are pissed. Now, long form. Alright, so yes, this is a well-known suicide spot in Japan. And it's also a well-known, like, haunted forest, right? There's a lot of that, like, there's hauntings and there's ghosts and all this kind of stuff because of the suicide thing. And I think they made a horror movie about it like a couple of years ago, or maybe between 1 and 3 years ago. They made a horror movie about it. I'm not entirely certain when. About like the haunted forest in Japan kind of thing. So it is like a well-known suicide spot, and it's haunted and all this kind of stuff. And to me, looking at the things that I've seen, reading the articles that I've seen, looking at the responses people have given, I think his intentions were not malicious. I do not think he went into this forest to go find a dead citizen of Japan and make all kind of stupid ass reactions and stuff. I don't think that's what happened. I think for the most part, he was on the up and up about it, right? But, all right, he took it too far. He went the wrong way about this. So him and his friends were cracking jokes and laughing, and this was more likely than not him and his friends or him and his people, whatever, handlers, right, trying to cope with what was experiencing. Philip DeFranco called it gallows humor, and I think that's a really, really solid descriptor of what may have been happening there, where he didn't know what to do, so his body just went to like, we're gonna make jokes and stuff like that, which I think also supports the lack of malicious intent to take advantage of the situation. All of these things being said, what he did was very clearly and very plainly disrespectful. It was disrespectful to the person who had committed suicide, who had gone through whatever traumas and trials and tribulations had led him to being in that place at that time. All right, it was disrespectful to him, it was disrespectful to that man's family, and it was disrespectful to Japan and the Japanese people as a whole. I feel like it was incredibly unkind. It would be, I can't think of a similar thing, but it would be like a foreign person coming to San Francisco and filming somebody jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge and doing the exact same thing. That's disrespectful to the culture and the people that are having to deal with that situation. And I think it's not okay. His apology, the first one that he put on Twitter or whatever, is incredibly self-serving. It's not even an apology in the grand scheme of things. It was total horseshit. I don't know what made him or any of his handlers think that was acceptable at all. And all it did was help incite more of that fan base. And that's the other side of this problem. And to me, almost a larger piece of this problem is this rabid fan base that seems to, they liked his video and they viewed his video and they were super into it. And any time somebody else on YouTube has said something, they just attack them outrightly. And it's bullshit, right? To be attacking somebody who points out obvious deplorable actions by Logan Paul and his people. All right. At any point in time, it wasn't a live stream, and I was talking to wife about this earlier. If it were like a live video and they're walking through the woods and they turn a corner and it's like boom, dead body, and he immediately flips the camera around and is like, I'm super sorry about that, I didn't mean to do all this kind of stuff, we're gonna get a hold of the police right now, I'll get back to you guys later, boop, closes the video out, solves the problem, goes back live in a couple hours. Hey, we talked to police. This is what happened. This is what I felt. These are ways that would prevent suicide, blah, 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 blah. Then it would have been fine, right? But because it was a recorded video, it means that they experienced it. And then at least one other person, one other time, had to jump through it to edit it. Even if he didn't watch the whole thing, even if he just jumped through it to edit it. Somebody had to experience that and edit it. And I feel like at least one person should have been responsible enough to say like, hey, maybe we don't make a YouTube video with a dead person in it. That seems fucked up. But, you know, I guess that he and his people thought that was okay. I don't understand it. It's so dumb. All right. And what makes it worse is that he has this fan base that just worships the ground he walks on. So they didn't see what he did was wrong. And then, of course, the reaction to people who are commenting on it was overzealous, and he did another video apology, which I still felt sounded self-serving and more acted than truly coming from the heart. I don't know, man. It came off as very deplorable. I feel like that's a perfect word when I was writing these notes earlier today. So, I mean, it's disrespectful and it's fucking deplorable. It's unacceptable. Somebody should not have acted that way, and he needs to fucking learn. And of course, he's not going to lose any money, and it's not going to affect his bottom dollar or his fame or his fan base or anything. Of course it's not, all right? But what happened was bullshit, and that's what we need to be talking about. Raina Scully, and I'll have it linked below, did a response video on January 1st. And I think it's a perfect response. I think it's an absolutely fantastic video, and I think it kind of brings up a lot of similar points that when I heard about this, I kind of concluded at the same time. So I think everybody should watch it. I'll have it linked below. And then it also brought up something that I had not thought about until she brought it up. It's that YouTube needs to be held mildly responsible for this as well. All right, it would be one thing, and Phil DeFranco mentions this also in his video for today. It would be one thing if Logan uploaded that and then, it went through its normal course, but it got on the front page of YouTube, right? It got big, it got promoted, and you would think that there has to have been, logically speaking, with that many views, there has to have been at least one person who saw that video and flagged it. And when it gets flagged, it needs to have that human review. It needs to have somebody with a moral compass being like, yeah, technically this isn't gory, and technically this isn't like whatever, but we shouldn't have this online, and pull it off. And I think that's the thing, is that YouTube needs to be held accountable for having not yanked it, because it needs to have gotten yanked. It's Logan Paul royally fucked up on this, and I hope that he understands that what he did was wrong. Not, it's bad for his business or it's bad for his company. What he did was wrong. Plain as day, moral wrong. All right? And what YouTube did, because when YouTube, even if it's the video's demonetized, YouTube's still making fucking money off of that shit, right? What YouTube did was also wrong. Yes, was it technically less wrong? Of course. But it was still wrong, and that's something that we need to work on. And that's the main reason why I want to talk about this, is that this is that like very obvious moral thing that shouldn't be happening, and that it's happening because somebody's making money off of it, because people think that it's okay. If people think that it's okay, then we need to address the moral compass of our country and of our citizens and of our viewers. His viewers should have been like, hey, what you did was probably not okay. Like, have you talked to a Japanese citizen about how they feel about this? Maybe they're upset about it. What did you do? But it's, and he can put in the whole suicide prevention hotline links at the bottom of the page and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the weight of the thing that what he did is, and I think at the same time, him doing this and talking about it, everybody's talking about how bad he is and all this kind of stuff, and nobody's talking about the weight that people are having to hold that would lead them to those conclusions, that would result in them being found in those woods and things like that. And I think that's part of it, and I think that the responses are covering it, but I think that he isn't. And I think that his apologies don't cover it. And I think that it's morally repugnant. It's not okay at all. And I know it's not nerdy or sciencey or whatever, but I feel like morality is, has a lot of weight nowadays. I mean, I did that whole thing I did a video about the trolley problem, and I kind of want to do more of that, like philosophical dives on stuff, because sometimes we need to consider those options, Everything's not unicorns and rainbows in sci-fi land. But yeah, either way, I mean, I know it ended a little dark and heavy, but yeah, Logan Paul, it is what it is, right? So either way, like this video, comment below, tell me what you think. Like, what do you think about this Logan Paul thing? What do you think about the two arguably more important sci-fi, sciencey things that I talked about? Did you like Bright? If you want Wife and I to do a review, maybe we'll do a review, maybe we won't. We'll see what happens. But tell me below. what do you think about the Falcon Heavy? Like, what's up with that, man? I'm super excited about it. But yeah, either way, like this video, comment below, tell me what's up. Share this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on social media. Instagram, post on Instagram. I do stick and poke tattoos. So like I did this on Monday watching the Rose Bowl. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, share any new videos you have and any of that kind of stuff. It's 2018, it's a new year. Let's try to make it big, man. I mean, 2017, I went from like 2 subscribers to 51 subscribers. So, I'm happy. We're chugging along, and hopefully, we can make it look better than this, and up the quality of everything, and just kind of go from there. But yeah, either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd Jive, and stay nerdy, folks. I'll see you guys on Friday.